All right, what's going on
We're
with
getting
Gavin
new
Newsom?
details about the California pot farm, which became the scene of a massive standoff between ICE agents and protesters last week. Agents managed to apprehend over 360 illegal immigrants at the farm.
This was at the Ventura
underage
place,
minors.
right?
And now we're learning more about the farm's owner. Glasshouse Farms president and co-founder Graham Farrar has been called a pioneer in growing so-called environmentally friendly cannabis. And he has a history of donating to Democratic candidates and causes, including a hefty $10,000 donation to Gavin Newsom back in 2018. Meanwhile, Democratic California leaders are still working to oppose immigration enforcement however they can. That includes Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass, who's rolling out a new plan to give cash cards to families allegedly threatened by ICE.
Oh, we're gonna give more illegal immigrants money because they feel threatened by ICE, by the way. Yes, more taxpayer money to illegal aliens to help them run away from ICE. What? How does... What? Dude, your money is just in this system, just being fucking burned. Right? They got like a furnace in the middle of the fucking system, and they just fucking toss everything in the fucking thing. Like, Jesus Christ.
We also are going to have a reinstitution of the Angelino card, something that Mayor Garcetti started during COVID.
Yeah, fuck
that
yeah.
will actually provide
The circle
cash
of
assistance
fuckery,
to people.
dude.
Because,
Holy
you have
shit.
people who don't want to leave their homes, who are not going to work, and they are in need of cash. It's a couple $100. I don't know the exact amount. And they should,
I don't know the exact amount. Yeah, a couple $100.
Steve, so
of
like we talked
taxpayer
about,
money.
you are staunchly in the lead in
Poof,
California
gone.
gubernatorial polls right now. So talk to us, how and why does your message resonate with the majority of Californians right now on these topics?
This is such a
Right, because it's a government system giving money out
because you've got
to
people
these
in charge
fucking
who
aliens.
not only won't enforce the law,
What are you
they
doing?
undermine the law. And you're seeing it on this issue of illegal immigration, and it's playing out for the whole country to see. But we've also seen it on crime more generally, the way that retail theft, shoplifting's been tolerated. We've seen it on homelessness. It's illegal for these encampments to be there. They've been there for years, and these politicians have done nothing about it. Now you have federal
Oh yeah, you know
law
those
being
homeless
enforced
encampments? Yeah, those
by
homeless encampments
the federal
haven't moved
administration,
one
and they're
bit.
saying, not only we're
It's
not
the
going to help
same.
you, we're going to stand in your way.
Always the
we're going
same
to cheer
areas
on
that
the
always
people
get
who are
afflicted
throwing
by
bombs
homeless
at our law
encampments.
enforcement agents, and we're going to pay for the organizations that are protesting.
And how long
this.
have they been
And all
trying
of
to
it could
fight
be
this
avoided
homeless
if they would just
epidemic
work
thing,
with
right?
ICE to get these dangerous
10 years,
criminals
20
out
years?
of our country. And it's not
Still
just
not fixed,
federal
by the
law that
way.
they're breaking when they
It
don't do
seems
that.
like it keeps
Even state
growing,
law,
or it
even the
stays
California
stagnant, you know?
sanctuary
Like never,
state
nothing
law
gets
has a
fixed,
provision in it
right?
that allows for discretion for local law enforcement to work with ICE when you're talking about people who within the last 15 years have been convicted of a long list of crimes. This lawlessness has to stop, and that's what I will do as governor.
Quick follow-up for you, Steve, because the current governor, Gavin Newsom, who has enjoyed donations by that pot farm owner before he came out lambasting federal involvement there, you know, his prior comments were sort of clearly moderate. It was, you know, don't come illegally and we're going to deport you, and I'm all for illegal immigration, et cetera. But now it seems that he's gone extremely radical, certainly on recent podcasts. It's a stark contrast. He's clearly running for the national stage. Talk to us about what that impact is on current Californians who need a governor now.
Well, it seems that he's really not interested in doing his job as governor of California, because what's he doing? He's going on all these podcasts. He's in South Carolina last week. He's trolling President Trump on social media. I mean, these are the things that actually are far removed.
Yeah, wasn't
from the
Newsom
policy
also
challenges we
talking
have in
about like
California. We've
JD
got the
Vance or
highest
some
rate
shit?
of poverty
Even
in
though
the
he should be
country.
trying to
We pay
fix
the highest taxes,
California.
the highest cost for
And he's
gas,
just on the
electricity, water.
fucking
We had the
right
highest
interwebs
unemployment
trying to
rate
talk-
in the whole
talk
country
shit,
for
literally.
most of last year. Where is the response
As
to any of
California
that?
needs a
It's
lot of fucking
non-existent.
work.
That's the kind of serious change that we need to see.
Oh,
But
get
instead,
the... Yeah,
you've
also
got
they
Karen
keep
Bass
asking for
just worrying
federal
about her own
funding
re-election
too.
next
So it's
year.
just
The
like
mayor
a
of
big
Los Angeles
fuck
after the
you.
disaster of the wildfires. Gavin Newsom clearly focused on running for president. We need someone who's going to
Yeah,
deal with our
literally,
problems
it's a
in
cycle of fuckery.
So I'm looking at
dealing
what you
with
gave me,
all
the
these
California
fucking
Governor
people.
statewide
What a bunch
polls,
of
sample
fucking
size, 2012
pansy-ass
registered voters.
kids.
This is a big poll. Steve Hilton leading by
Fucking
19%
headache,
over Katie Porter. It's tight with her until you factor in those people who can't quite make up their minds, those undecided. You say there's about 30% of the electorate out there that hasn't made up their minds. Then the gap between you and Katie Porter gets greater. You factor in Kamala Harris, Katie Porter falls to third place, and you and Kamala are battling it out. So talk to me. I don't know that those candidates that I'm looking at here are attacking any of the things that we're reporting on.
No.
I mean, everything that Emily just set up, I don't see it coming from them.
No, and the interesting thing is that we've had 15 years now of one-party rule in California, and the results are there. It's the worst results on everything that matters.
Well, I
the
mean,
highest
it's
housing
stayed
costs.
Democrat
I could
ever
go all
since,
hour about
right.
everything that's gone wrong, but of course what people want is someone to put things right, a positive change, and
Well,
I
I
think
mean,
that's
it
what
was
people are
Democrat
responding
even
to.
before
What's
I was
encouraging,
alive,
look, it's
right?
very early. You know, the election is next June. We've barely begun campaigning, but what's really clear is that I'm there as the leading challenger, which whatever the scenario is, whether it's Kamala Harris or Katie Porter, any of these people, I'm the leading challenger to this 15 years of one-party rule. By the way, it'll be a big thing for the country if we can save California. We're the fourth biggest economy in the world.
I'm 30,
Imagine
by the way.
how far we could power again with real positive
So this
leadership.
has been
It's also
going
just bringing sanity
around in
back to
California for
and
more
the
than 30
country.
years.
And what happened at these
basically.
farms in California, these pot farms, is the definition of insanity. And it gives you a perspective on the Democrat Party's worldview where heroes are villains and villains are heroes. Let's look at the play-by-play. So on July 10th, you have ICE and other federal authorities go and raid these pot farms. They arrest at least 360
So if you think I
illegal
have
aliens,
radical
14
views,
children they
no,
found
dude. You
that they
haven't
were worried
seen
about that had been
shit.
rescued from potential exploitation, forced labor,
man.
and human
You
trafficking.
think
10
I
were
have radical
unaccompanied.
views?
And then,
Oh,
by
fuck,
the way,
man.
some of these individuals they arrested,
If I
guess
could
what they've been
enact
convicted
my
of?
fucking
You've got
views,
rape,
holy
child
fuck, man.
molestation, kidnapping during
I'd
the
be like a
operation, according to
fucking
DHS.
tyrant.
So instead of saying, hey, look, that's really good, right? Let's praise ICE officials for saving
there's so
these
many
children,
fucking people I
rescuing
would
these
fucking
children.
kick
What
out.
happened?
Oh my
You had
God.
hundreds go in protest,
Yeah, there'd be
including,
so many
attacking
people that'd be
federal agents,
hung.
firing a gun at a
Oh,
federal
man.
agent, and then you have a
Like I
congressman
said, I'd be a
accused of
fucking
doxing one of
tyrant
the
if I
ICE
could actually
agents as
enact all
well.
the things I
On
want
top
to
of
do.
it, and then, oh, by the way, just to sum it all up, the owner of the pot farm
You want to
donated
see a real
Democrats.
fucking
Does
monster?
that not tell
Oh
you
man.
everything about today's Democrat Party and
Oh,
what's
man.
wrong with this party?
And Rosanna, we've seen polls just recently that reflect that the majority of Americans across the board now support illegal immigration deportation in addition to
Yeah, you know,
those with
I'd
criminal
be
records.
probably
So
getting
the fact
close
that
to
you have
fucking,
these
like-
state officials
like
that are refusing to work with
dictator-
ICE officials that are straight up obstructing
dictatorial,
the federal
right,
government in their
levels,
execution of these duties
fucking
that were a
hanging
mandate by
people
the
and, like,
American people, and
stringing
you
them up
contrast that with the will
and using
of the
them as
people.
fucking
It's horrifying.
examples.
I mean, you look at Mayor Bass, right?
Go-
She's offering
going back
gift
to the
cards
old
out.
days.
She's not saying
right?
exactly
the good
how much is
old
on those gift cards.
you
She
know
doesn't know.
English
She
land
doesn't know.
days.
Wow.
Harris,
know,
do you,
back-
you think
back
she knows
during,
it now? She knows she's giving out gift cards.
when the
but she doesn't
United
know how much
Kingdom
is on
was,
the gift cards.
fucking
Another
hanging
way to
people,
keep some of
right?
those people, you know, hidden. And the
Like,
city of Los Angeles,
putting people in
$1
those
billion
fucking,
Deficit. Yes.
in
Those
debt.
little,
Amazing. And she's handing out
like in
free
the
money
town
to
center
illegally
square,
here.
And Steve,
they'd
then
lock
let's not
you in
forget
that little
about the
fucking
people
thing
that
with your
were, you know,
fucking head and
ravaged by the
arms stuck in that
wildfires.
thing.
I'm not
And
talking
they'd
about the
fucking throw
celebrities. He'll be fine. I'm
tomatoes
sure
and
their
rotten
insurance will
food at
work
you.
at some point.
Sometimes
but
even
there were
rocks.
real working class neighborhoods that were there
I'd
for
be
generations
doing
after
that shit.
generations
And then
that
after
need
that,
help.
I'd fucking
Where are
hang
they?
you.
Nothing's
Or
been
some
done
shit
in those
like that,
areas,
right? Or
Steve.
flay
They don't
you
even talk
alive,
about it.
right?
And
I'd
people are getting
enact
the really awful thing, just very briefly,
all the
is that
brutal,
people are
fucked
giving
up
up
methods
the
of
bureaucracy, the
ancient,
insurance,
right?
the nightmare. They're giving up, they're abandoning, and
of the
then
old
that means
days.
you're going
I
to
would
lose
fucking
the
do
single
it,
family
'cause
homes.
I'm
They want to
tired
build
of people's
apartments
bullshit.
and destroy the California dream. It's awful.
You live a
different. Yeah, Florida will
privileged
take 'em.
fucking
Yeah, my home
life
state of Arizona will
of
take
just
them.
Well, it's
no
not too late for
issues
California,
whatsoever.
thanks to
And
leadership
now you just want
like
to
you and
create
your
all the
mission and your
fucking
vision.
pansy
That's
ass
the plan.
issues
Go,
now.
Steve.
Hey everyone,
yeah,
I'm
no,
Emily
you're getting fucking
Campagno.
hung,
Catch
dude.
me and my co-host Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany
no, I'm
on
stringing you
Outnumbered
up.
every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern. Or set your
Your-
DVR.
your ass is
also,
getting
don't forget to
fucking
subscribe to the
scalped.
Fox News YouTube
Right.
page for
We're
daily
gonna
highlights.
employ some Native American methods, you know, scalping people. You know, we're gonna do the old school tar and feathering, yes. We might dump hot oil on you to burn you and shit, right? Sorry. Man. Ancient, brutal methods, right? I mean, we could go back to the old days and do like gladiatorial battles too, right? Start throwing people in fucking pits to make them kill each other, right? And like what? Come on, you know people want that. It's easy. You see how people like the UFC. What's going on here?
Hello, Mr. President. We brought our star along here. We're going to Pittsburgh. We're going to be touting about, actually, it's going to be numbers like nobody's ever heard before. It's mostly to do with AI. We have tremendous investments being made, literally trillions of dollars of investments being made in our country on AI. Artificial intelligence. I don't know if the word artificial is
all the
word,
AI
that's
that's being used to
So
create
I think we're going to have a very successful trip.
propaganda
We had a good call with the Texas
used to
Congressman this
harass
morning, as you
people,
probably heard. And that went
used to
very
make
well.
fun of
Do you
people,
have any questions? Yeah, go. Mr. President.
used to make memes,
Okay. Mr. President,
used to scare artists
from the Labor Department saying that
because they get the
inflation rose
mental
slightly
block,
last
and
month.
then
Very
you
slight.
fucking you dick on them by
They
throwing
were
fucking
exactly
AI
as
art in their face
anticipated.
because they got the
Very
mental
low
block,
inflation.
and then you
So
start
what you should
dancing
do
on their
is
corpse.
Lower the rate. The Fed should lower the rate immediately.
Is it because of tariffs? Did tariffs?
We had a big win with the Supreme Court on the Department of Education. We want, as you know, we want to bring education back to
I
the
go
states.
I go
Take the
all the
federal
way in.
government out of
I
it.
lean all the way in.
Tiny bit of supervision, but
I
very
go
little,
in for
almost nothing, like to
decapitations.
make sure
Yes.
they speak English. That's about all we need.
I go in for making for torturing people, if you will, right?
Well, we have
I'm
school
going in
choice,
to
and
break
we're
people's
getting
legs
school
to make
choice
them
approved
feel
all
the
over the
most
country.
amount of
We
pain.
just got
Yes.
it done in Texas, and school choice is the answer. Yes.
I'm someone who will let people bleed the fuck out and laugh
Well,
at
the end of
them
50
because
days,
they
if we don't
deserve
have
it.
a deal, it's going to be too bad.
Should Zelensky get more aggressive?
Yeah, the tariffs are going to go on, and other sanctions go on.
I would
Zelensky
employ a
target
bunch of
Moscow?
torture
Should
methods.
Zelensky target
Sorry.
Moscow, sir?
Not sorry.
Should Zelensky target Moscow or deeper into
Because it's
Russia?
the easiest way to get information.
Is that why you gave him more
Right?
weapons,
It's the
though?
quickest way to say, fuck you, give me what I want, and then I'm done with you. Right?
No, we're not looking to do that. Oh, I don't think 50 days is very long, and it could be sooner than that. I don't think 50 days is very long. You should have asked that same question to Biden. Why did he get us into this war? You should ask that question.
Well, I mean, he's not in front. Well, he's not. He's not. He's fighting for cancer now, right? He's fighting his cancer now because apparently he had cancer the whole time.
Why did he get us into this war? Because he's incompetent. It would have
He's
never happened if I were president.
Maybe you should talk about his cancer, Mr. President.
So we made a deal
His
with
his
Indonesia. I spoke to
imaginary
their really
cancer
great
that
president,
happened
very
all of a
popular,
sudden,
very strong,
or that
smart.
was hidden for like
And
what,
we,
4 or 5
made the
years.
deal. We have full access to Indonesia, everything. As you know, Indonesia is very strong on copper.
It's like our
we have full
it's like our
access to everything. We'll
like
pay
our
no
political
tariffs.
systems being
So they
used
are giving
for
us
Make-A-Wish
access into
Foundation. Yes.
Indonesia, which we never had. That's probably the
For all these
biggest part of
fucking
the deal.
retarded old
And the other
people.
part is they are going to pay 19%, and we are going to pay nothing. I think it's a good deal for both parties. But we will have full access into Indonesia. And we have a couple of those deals that are going to be
Hello,
announced.
Indonesia.
India basically is working along that same line. We're going to have access into India. And you have to understand, we had no access into any of these countries. Our people couldn't go in. And now we're getting access because of what we're doing with the tariffs. So they're paying 19%.
Well, I mean, because he's
and we
changing
are
the
not
market
paying
around.
anything.
So now
And
they're
gonna
allowing
they're gonna give
access
us
because
full
everyone's
access
changing their
into
fucking
Indonesia.
tariffs
now,
and shit.
Indonesia has some great product.
Right,
and
you
they
have
also
Saudi
some very
Arabia
valuable
opening up
earths and
more.
various other
Right, you have a lot of
One of the things,
more
as you know,
Middle
they're
Eastern
known for is
countries
very
that are
high-quality
trying to
copper,
open up
which will
trade
be
more and
used.
whatnot.
I'm Texas, sir.
But and then you still have the the terrorist
Well, we had very little
organizations being
inflation.
fucking
I don't know, who do you work
crazies and
for?
fanatics.
What? USA Today. Oh, well, they wrote me a beautiful article the other day, so I can't get angry at you. USA Today just wrote a very good article about me. What's that all about? So I can't get angry at you.
I'm Texas, sir.
There was very little inflation, as you know. The numbers were very good, very much inside the margin. So we've had no inflation. All we have is we're making a fortune. We are taking in hundreds of billions of dollars. You saw we had a surplus of $25 billion last month, which we haven't had in many, many years.
Oh wow, surplus. I wonder where that surplus money's gonna go.
We are doing because I'm able to do it. Nobody else would be able to do it. We have tariffs going on because we want tariffs and we want the money coming into the United States. But more important than the money, there's two aspects to tariff. There's the money, which comes in. The other aspect is that rather than paying the tariffs, the country or the company will build in the United States, make their product in the United States, and that creates jobs. And I would say of the two, probably the more important to me is that. Yeah.
Sir, I'm Texas.
Are you on Ukraine's side now?
No, I'm on
No, are you on Ukraine's side now?
You know what the side I'm on? Humanity's side. I want to stop the killing of thousands of people a week. I want
Yeah,
to
I don't
stop
know.
the killing.
Everybody wants people
stop
to
in the
like pick
Ukraine,
sides and
Russia
shit. It's
war.
like, dude, what the
That's
fuck
the
are you
side I'm
talking
on.
about? I'm on the side of America that doesn't want fucking to be engulfed in these fucking issues that these countries want us to be in. Like 100% of the time. They're literally trying to use America as a fucking bargaining chip. Fuck out of here, dude. I'm gonna fucking cut all of your throats. Fucking use us as a bargaining chip? Go fucking kill yourself.
And I think the Attorney General
Use that as a bargaining chip. Bunch of fucking gay boys.
On what? On the
DOJ and FBI
on what?
review.
On what subject?
Epstein. On Epstein. Of the review of the files. Attorney General Pam Bondi.
A very quick briefing.
Did she tell you? What did she tell you about the review? And specifically, did she tell you at all that your name appeared in the file?
Want to use us as a bargaining chip? Well, you're gonna have to levy up your fucking arm or leg. You're paying with your life, bitch.
And I would say that these files were made up by Comey. They were made up by Obama. They were made up by the Biden we went through years of that with the Russia hoax, with all of the different things that we had to go through. We've gone through years of it, but she's handled it very well, and it's going to be up to her. Whatever she thinks is credible, she should release. Yeah.
Sir, on Texas, how many more seats do you want the Republicans to draw?
5.
And then what if California, New York, Illinois, and other blue states
Yeah, well, that's
decide to do
okay
this?
too, but 5. I think we get 5. And there could be some other states. We're going to get another 3 or 4 or 5 in addition. Texas would be the biggest one, and
So
that'll be 5.
are you calling then for a complete redrawing of the congressional map ahead of next year?
Just a very simple redrawing. We pick up 5 seats.
And
But we have a couple of other states where we'll pick up seats also.
What's your tariff rate for the EU?
Well, when he was in my office. And what did you tell him when he was in your office? I told him he's doing a very bad job. He's way late. That's why I call him too late. Jerome Powell is too late. He's way late. Interest rates should be coming down. We have a very, very successful country. We should have the lowest interest rate anywhere in the world, and we don't. Jerome Powell has done a terrible job, and frankly, I don't think he could do a worse job. He's called everything wrong. So they had a report come out the other day, 71 different economists, and me. You know who was right? Me.
Mr. President.
Did you know that? I was right.
I mean, Trump should just become a tyrant and start just stringing people on fucking hooks, yeah?
Andrew, your thought, Mr. President, Mr. President, what are your thoughts on Andrew
That's a funny
Cuomo?
one coming. You had to waste the question like No, we are talking to the EU, and we're making progress. But look, you know, we already have a deal with the EU. It's called the letter that was sent out. I think it was 30%. That's the EU. But we, at the same time, we are talking to
Andrew Cuomo,
Go ahead.
Well, Mr. President, your reaction to Andrew Cuomo staying in the New York City mayor's race. Andrew Cuomo staying in the New York City mayor's race.
I think he should stay. I think he has a shot.
Would you prefer him over?
Well, I don't want to say. You know, I'm a Republican. He's a Democrat or an independent. No, I think Andrew would have a good shot of winning. He's got to run a tough campaign. He's, you know, he's running against the communists. I would think that he would have a good shot of winning.
Tell us about your trip to Scotland, sir. What are you going to do on your trip to Scotland?
We're going to be meeting with the British Prime Minister, very respected. And we are going to have a meeting with him probably in Aberdeen. And we're going to do a lot of different things. And we're going to also refine the trade deal that we've made. So we'll be meeting mostly with the
trade deal
at probably one of my properties, or maybe not, depending on what happens. But we'll be in Aberdeen in Scotland, meeting with the Prime Minister.
Mr. President, what's your preferred? Mr. President, do you have a message for the EU if they retaliate against tariffs?
Well, I don't know how they can retaliate. You know, they've made a lot of money. They've treated us very badly, but now they're treating us very nicely. And I think we'll end up, I think everybody's going to be happy with the EU.
What's your preferred tariff?
Given that the
President, is there any plans to meet with Pope Leo in the near future, sir?
Not a plan. I would do it. I have a lot of respect. I really like his brother. His brother is a major, serious Trumper. You know that. He's MAGA all the way. I like the Pope's brother, and I think I'd like the Pope. But the
Well, I
Pope's
mean, yeah, the
brother
Pope
lives in
is.
Florida. I met him.
The Pope
And
is
he
very
MAGA.
conservative.
He's got MAGA signs all over the house. likes
He's
Trump,
not
and
the
I like
liberal
him.
the other Pope was. Holy shit!
Mr. President, what's the latest on Iran?
How about you?
Iran.
Like he's going back to like traditional ways.
Well, we're going to see what happens with President Putin. So far, I've been very disappointed with President Putin.
Right,
I've
he's
solved a
taken
lot of wars
taken
in
the
last 3 months,
fructogeny out of
but
everything,
I haven't
literally.
gotten this one yet. This is a Biden war. It's not a
I mean,
Trump war. I'm
Pope
here to try and
Francis
get us
may
out of
have
that
said,
mess.
"Oh, we don't want fructogeny," but he was still open about
Any
things.
messages for what?
This Pope's like, "Nah, fuck the fructogeny
Yeah, go ahead.
shit.
Do I have
Get
a
this
what?
shit out of here." Oh, get it out. Don't
For the
need
people
it.
of
Get it
Brazil.
out.
Are you from Brazil? He's going to trial now, right? Yeah. When is that trial starting? When is the trial for Bolsonaro starting?
The
When is it?
Bolsonaro. What the fuck is Bolsonaro?
How is it going? But they haven't found him guilty, have they? But have they found him guilty? No.
Oh, the Brazilian ex-president. Ah, that guy.
Here's the thing. President Bolsonaro is a good man.
Oh, of leading a
I've gotten to know
coup
a lot of prime
during
ministers
the
and
most
presidents
recent
and
election.
Kings and queens. And I know him, and I'm pretty good at this. President Bolsonaro.
So basically,
is not a
another
dishonest man. He
political
loves the
witch hunt.
people of
It looks
Brazil.
like,
He fought hard for the people
just
of
like they
Brazil.
did in
He negotiated
Turkey,
trade
right?
deals against me for
Where
the
the
people of
Turkey,
Brazil, and it was very tough.
the
And it
standing,
was tough because he wanted to do a
right?
good
The
deal for his
person they were,
country.
or
He was not a
they were doing
dishonest
like a
man.
re-election
And I
campaign
believe
or
it's a
something, and the
witch hunt,
person who
and
was
it
already
shouldn't
in
be
power,
happening. And it's not
like
that
kick,
I know
fucking
that-
jailed
look, he's
the
not like a
person
friend
who
of
was running
mine.
his
He's somebody
opposition.
that I know.
It's like, what the
And I
fuck?
know him as a representative of
It's like, oh.
millions of people.
And then yeah,
Brazilians, they're
France
great
did the same
people.
thing too.
And
Right?
he loves the country. And he fought
They
hard for
jailed
those
the
people, and they wanna put him in
opposing
jail.
power.
And I think
It was
that's
just like, what the
a,
fuck are you
witch
guys
hunt,
doing?
and I think it's very
That looks
unfortunate.
shady as fuck.
And nobody's happy with what
So I guess
Brazil
they're
is
trying
doing
to do the same
because
thing here on
was a
Bolsonaro,
respected president.
in a sense. Maybe
Very
jail
respected.
another political opponent.
you say that you want Adam Schiff front
So there seems to be like a there seems to be some kind of strategic move to get all these fucking people out or something, right? Something's happening. Something's big, right? Something big is moving.
Charge if that even happens. But Adam Schiff is a serious lowlife.
Right, it's like the political the political ideology is shifting in a certain way.
I mean, I look forward to meeting them both. I know them both very well through what I read and through what I see. Look, he's a communist. I don't think our country is ready for a communist, but we're going to see. And I don't think that race is over yet either. You do have a couple of people running against, and it'll be an interesting thing. Things are coming out about him which aren't good. And, AOC, look, I think she's very nice, but she's very low IQ. And we really don't need low IQ. Between her
low
and
IQ AOC, big booty Latina.
See who comes out best. Now, I took my test. I took a real test at Walter Reed Medical Center, and I aced it. I got every one of all those questions right. Now it's time for them to take a test. Anyway, have a good time.
It's time for them to take a test. Trump, give us. You have information. Honestly, they should just get Snowden back in and just allow Snowden to give us certain information. Like that will ever happen. Yeah, fucking right. Allow someone who was in the intelligence community to then release more fucking information that the fucking government is hiding. It's like, yeah, that's probably not. I don't think the government wants that.
Put up the first one. We're going to start talking about.
And this brings us to John Kennedy doing
rescission
this.
package. And I want to talk about that for a few minutes.
Oh shit!
As you know, Mr. President, under our
yes,
Constitution,
Senator
Congress passes
John
a
Kennedy
budget.
of Louisiana,
We send that budget to the
along
President
with
of the United
the
States, whomever that
the
might be,
House Speaker.
and the President,
what's his Scott something?
executes or implements that
The
budget.
dude who was talking with Biden, and
Close that door
Biden
for me,
was all
please.
like, "Oh yeah, we fucked with your LNGs."
And the President
Terminals.
implements that budget.
Like all 600.
On occasion,
all
under
600
federal
contract,
statute,
like all 600 plus
the,
contracts.
the
Yeah, we
President
fucked with
has
them.
the
Sorry,
authority
peace out.
after we have passed a budget in
Like,
Congress to look at
thanks,
the budget
asshole.
and say, you know, I don't need all this money to accomplish the goals that Congress established and instructed me to accomplish. And so the President can contact us and say, Congress, I would like you to rescind some of the spending in the budget that you sent to me. It's called a rescission bill or a rescission package. President Trump has sent us a rescission bill or a rescission package asking the United States Congress to cut the budget by roughly $9 billion. And that's what we're going to start voting on today. Now, $9 billion is a lot of money, except when you compare it to the overall federal budget. $9 billion, despite the fact that it's a bucket load of money, is 1/10 of 1% of the federal budget. 1/10 of 1% of the federal budget. It gives you an idea of how big the federal budget is. I think most people, most adults anyway, understand that in life, what you say doesn't really matter. What you say doesn't really matter. It's what you do that demonstrates what you believe. And that's certainly true in politics. And that's certainly true in Washington, D.C. Ignore what anybody in Washington, D.C. says. Ignore it. If you want to understand their behavior, look at their behavior. What in Washington, D.C., as in life, what you do is what you believe, not what you say. What you do is what you believe, and everything else is just cottage cheese.
Hey,
Now,
he knows what's up.
President Trump, whether you voted for him or not, whether you like him or not, ran on a platform of reducing the size of government. And the people elected him. And since day one, the president has been very hard, if you've paid attention to the news, he's been working very hard to reduce government spending. And he's reduced a lot. He started out with the DOGE program with Mr. Elon Musk. Mr. Musk, of course, has left. But the quest to reduce government spending, wasteful government spending, which I call spending porn, continues. Every Republican in the United States Senate has voiced approval of what the president has done. Every Republican, every one of my colleagues, myself included, has said to the president, "Attaboy, Mr. President, go get them. Keep issuing those executive orders. Reduce the spending. We're spending too much money. We've got a $37 trillion debt. Keep going, Mr. President." And the president has, but he's been doing it through executive order. There's only so much you can do through executive order. An executive order issued by a president expires when the president's no longer in office. The only way to permanently reduce spending is to have Congress act. And that's what the president's asking us to do in this rescission bill. What you do is what you believe, and everything else is just cottage cheese. The rescission package that the president has sent over is we're going to start considering it today. And after listening, in some cases for years, but certainly for the last 100+ days since President Trump's been in office, after listening to my Republican colleagues talk about the importance of reducing spending, it's gut check time. It is gut check time. Because what you do is what you believe, not what you say. And now my colleagues and I have an opportunity to really support the president. Now, I don't know if this bill is going to pass. I do not know if it's going to pass. I mean, I've heard a lot of wailing and gnashing of teeth and whining, and civilization's going to melt if we cut 0.1% of the budget, and that's coming from some of my Democratic colleagues. They're entitled to their point of view, but I want to put this in context. After all of us on my side of the aisle telling the world that we need to reduce spending, if we vote against this rescission package and refuse to reduce spending by 0.1% of the budget, we ought to hide our heads in a bag. We ought to hide our heads in a bag. Now, what kind of spending is the president asking us to reduce, to eliminate? That's important, because not all government spending is wasteful, but a lot of it is. That's why I call it spending porn. I'm going to read you some of the appropriations that the president is asking us to eliminate from the current budget. And you be the judge. Let the American people decide. The president is asking us to eliminate $5.1 million of taxpayer money in the American budget and the federal budget that is there to, quote, strengthen the resilience of queer global movements. The president is asking us to rescind $6 million for media organizations and civic life for Palestinians. The president, in light of our $37 trillion budget deficit, is asking us to reduce a program in the amount of $3.9 million for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and intersex population in the Western Balkans.
What? Why?
The president is
The fuck
suggesting
does this
that we
do?
eliminate a program, $1 million for voter
I'm sorry,
ID
none of this
programs in Haiti.
in any shape or form helps America
your
in
money,
any way.
folks.
Sorry, like get rid of this
The
shit.
president is
Fuck
asking
it.
us to reduce the budget by $3 million, which is appropriated for, quote, sexual reproductive health in
Like,
Venezuela.
why are we? Why are we helping
$3
these
million
countries with these
for
types of things?
circumcision, vasectomies, and condoms
Like, this is not our
in
issue.
Zambia.
This is not our problem. Why are we
I
giving
didn't
money
make
to
this
this?
stuff up. It's in the budget. $3 million.
If we
for
really
Sesame
wanted to
Street
give
in
them
Iraq.
money, why don't we help them with their fucking
$833,000
infrastructure?
for transgender
Right? Because
people,
that's what they
sex
need the
workers and their
most.
clients in Nepal.
Instead of doing all this like weird social movement
$882,000
bullshit.
for social media mentorship in Serbia and Belarus.
Which they don't even. The motherfuckers don't even use social media half the time.
$3.6 million for pastry cooking classes.
They
cyber
can't.
cafes, and
Well, in
dangerous
some of these
groups
countries,
for
they're
male
fucking
prostitutes
restricted.
in Haiti. How many Americans, Mr. President, do you think we should be spending their money to fund male prostitutes?
Like, who
in
does
Haiti?
this fucking rat shit behavior? Like, what the
But
fuck?
there it is in our budget.
Oh yeah,
bigger
that's
than
right.
Dallas.
People do. Humans.
And the president is saying, cut it out.
I love doing rat shit behavior.
$6.2 million for Venezuelan migrants in Colombia. $500,000 to buy Rwanda electric buses. I love Rwanda. If they want electric buses, they've got a budget. $300,000 for a pride parade in Lesotho. $300,000 for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, intersex advocacy in Uganda. $500,000 for biodiversity in Peru. I could keep going. I could go the rest of the day and the night.
Nuclear launch detected.
Now, I know what you're thinking.
Sorry, my bad.
How in God's
It
name,
slipped out.
on
I
God's green
couldn't
earth,
stop myself.
did this spending porn get in the federal government's budget? Why would Congress put it there?
I can just send a goddamn nuke.
Well, I'm going
Fuck
to tell you
this.
why.
Nuke it all. Blow
We
it up.
didn't.
Fuck all you.
When we pass a budget,
Drop the N-bomb.
we pass budgets based
My favorite
on
word.
programs. or
The N-word.
line items. We don't put in there that we'd like to spend $5.1 million strengthening the resilience of queer global movements. We appropriate money by agency or line item. For example, we might appropriate money for the Economic Support Fund. Or if
Yes, you
look
can
at our
call me
budget, you'll see
racist
money
for wanting to
appropriated
nuke this
for
whole
the United
fucking
States
bullshit.
Institute
I don't
of
give
Peace.
a fuck.
And if you look
This
at
is
our
all
budget,
bullshit,
you'll see
wasteful
money
fucking
that Congress
spending.
has appropriated for migration and
Absolutely
refugees.
does nothing
refugee
for
assistance.
America.
And then this money goes to the bureaucracy.
Fuck all.
And the bureaucracy
literally
takes the
burnt
money
taxpayer
that we have
money just
appropriated, for
just
example,
going
to
up
the
in smoke,
Economic Support
literally.
Fund,
Why the fuck
and
would
they
you do this?
decide to give it to their friends, usually non-governmental organizations, to fund these nonsensical items that I just spent a few minutes
Yeah,
reading.
all of them are.
Congress
It's
didn't
like, what the
vote
fuck are you
to
doing?
spend $3 million on sexual reproductive health in Venezuela. We voted for a program that the bureaucrats took and spent on sexual health, reproductive health in Venezuela. That's not an excuse, but I get that question all the time.
Oh
Why
yeah,
did
didn't
Congress
the
vote to do
wells
this?
that
We
fucking
didn't.
apparently Mr.
The
Beast
bureaucracy did.
like made
It's a
for like
giant
people
rogue
in
beast.
the
But the point is,
right people
Trump
in
caught
Africa,
it,
didn't those
and
wells
his
like get
people
fucked
caught
up or
it,
something?
And the president is saying
Because they
get rid
weren't
of it.
maintained properly? Because they don't know how to maintain shit? Right,
We
because they
would-
don't know
we would be
they don't
better off.
they literally do not have it
programs of
in their
spending
goddamn
porn,
vocabulary.
We'd be better
the
off
word
taking
maintenance.
this money
Because
and
they don't
spending
know
it
how to
on
fix
tax,
shit.
on,
Because
on
they just
scratch
build new
tickets and
shit.
blackjack.
They
We'd be
just
better off
allow the
taking
thing to
all of
break,
this money
right? They just
that
allow
I just
things to
talked
break
about
down and then never
and
fix
spending
it.
on scratch
they
tickets and
just make new
blackjack.
shit.
At least taxpayers might have a chance of getting a return. That's how out of control this is. But if you listen to some of my colleagues, oh my God, if we cut $9 billion civilization, if we cut the spending point, civilization's going to melt.
There's literally some of these places have
there's one other thing
some
in
of these places in some of these countries,
budget-
right?
in
The
our,
literal
budget that the
landfills
president's
of
asking us
just
to cut.
garbage.
He's asking us to cut a
Of
little
just
over $1
scrap
billion
metal and fucking used car parts and
for,
wires and shit, right?
what I will call public broadcasting. When I say public broadcasting, I'm talking about the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. I'm talking about
Literally a
Public
junkyard,
Broadcasting
in a way.
Service, or PBS. I'm talking about National Public Radio, NPR as we call it. We spend anywhere from $500 to $600 million a year on public broadcasting. Why do we do that? Well, we started doing it years ago, at least 50 years ago. A time when there were only
Yeah,
3
why are you
television
helping?
stations
Why are you funding
and a
news
few
media
radio
outlets?
stations
What the fuck are you doing with
and,
those news
and-
media
and
outlets? What are you trying to push?
And a lot of folks in rural areas, they didn't
What are you
get
trying to promote, you
the television
fucks?
stations. They didn't get any news at all. They might live far enough away from a major city so they didn't even have a daily newspaper. So Congress said, you know, we want everybody to know what's going
Yeah,
on. in the world. We're gonna start
let's do
public
some news
broadcasting,
reporting in Iran,
and we're gonna give them money
and
every
hope they even show our broadcast
And
to
they
their.
won't have to run ads because
it's gonna be like
we're gonna
super
spend taxpayer
sanitized,
money
right?
to give to these
super
radio
censored.
stations and television stations. Well, that was 50 years ago. Today,
Why do you think I don't?
American
Why
people
do you
have
think I
access
don't
to
trust
all
any of
forms
the
of
like
media.
content creators that go
Streaming,
overseas to
cable
those fucking
TV,
right, like ISO
network
Speed when he
TV,
goes to like China and shit?
TikTok,
I don't even
Twitter,
trust that shit
newspapers,
because
those
that's
that are
heavily
left.
fucking right,
No one's in a
heavily
news desert
censored.
anymore. So why are we spending
They
money?
literally only
on public
shoot him
broadcasting?
into places they allowed him to
$500
go.
million a year.
That's why I don't trust that
Now,
shit.
the other factor, it's undeniable
That's
that
why I don't trust content creators that try to
broadcasting
like
has
gas
become
up other content creators when they do that type of shit. It's like,
unless
yeah,
you,
no, I'm good. I'm good.
unless you
brother.
have,
I'm not into that shit. I'm sorry.
unless you've been a huge disappointment to your parents, you understand. If you listen to public broadcasting, that it's representing today.
Information is
one
heavily
political point of
restricted in
view.
some of these places.
The president of public broadcasting. No one would mistake her for Walter Cronkite, I can assure you. Her name is Catherine Mayer. This is her position. She's supposed to be delivering the news objectively, but this is what she has said. Trump is a deranged, racist sociopath. The president and CEO of NPR thinks that America is, quote,
NPR shit.
addicted to white supremacy.
Well, wasn't NPR
She
trying to
has
like
denounced
sue at
the
one
use
point,
of
or
words
wasn't
boy
NPR
and
gonna
girl.
get sued at one point?
She says that's, quote, erasing language for non-binary people. She contends that the United States was founded on the basis of, quote, black plunder and white democracy. That's who's running the show over there. She's entitled to her beliefs. This is America. You're entitled to believe what you want. And NPR and PBS and the Corporation for Public Broadcasting are entitled to publish and broadcast what they publish, but not on the taxpayer's dime. when we owe $37 trillion, and we really owe that money.
Yeah, why
we
the
have
fuck are
no
yeah, why are we paying for that
spending
type
half
of shit?
a
If you're gonna be paying for that shit, you go for
giving it
donors.
to the-
That's
to,
not
to any
you don't
form of media.
ask for the taxpayers'
we don't
money to
fund
go for this
CNN.
kind
we
of
don't
shit.
fund Fox News. We don't fund newspapers. Why are
Or
we
you ask for
funding PBS?
volunteer donors to do that
and
type of shit.
NPR
You don't ask for
and the Corporation
literally
for
the
Public
governmental
Broadcasting. And all the
system
president is
that
saying,
runs
I
our
don't want you to do
goddamn
that
government
anymore.
to pay for that shit.
Congress,
No.
I don't want you to fund
That's
any
shady
media,
as
any
fuck.
form of media. PBS, for example, has the right to
That's shady
publish
as
what they
fucking
want,
money
but
mismanagement out the
Congress
fucking
shouldn't
wazoo, dude.
give them taxpayer money to do it. Let them go raise money in the private sector, and the president's right.
That's like embezzlement, fucking
president
money
is
laundering. I don't
absolutely
trust
right.
that shit.
And that's
You guys
all
are
this
playing a
decision
fucking
bill is
dangerous
going to
game.
do, Mr.
Especially
President.
when you don't have any
It's gonna bring a little
identification
bit of
telling you
sanity
where this money is going
back to,
exactly. Or who's receiving
back to
it,
our
or if they're
appropriations
actually
process. I'm
receiving
going to end
it.
on this note, Mr. President.
no, that's-
I'm gonna
that's fucking shady
end
as
as I
fuck.
began.
It's
What you do
basically like it never existed or
is
some
what
shit,
you
right?
believe.
Like it's
and
just
everything else is
it's
just
just on
cottage cheese.
receipt for some reason, and we have to pay
I've
for
been
it.
here 10 years.
What?
Every one of those 10 years, but especially
any
in the
fucking
last 100 days, since President Trump was reelected and started talking about reducing spending, I've listened to all of my Republican colleagues encourage the president and say, that's great, we've got to reduce spending, we've got to reduce spending. Well, here's your chance. Here's your chance. It's gut check time. You either believe in reducing spending or you don't.
Time to nut up shit.
You either support spending porn or you don't. We're going to find out who does and who doesn't here in about 3 or 4 hours. Mr. President, I yield the floor.
Damn. He going in. Yeah, he basically broke it down as to all the shady bullshit the government's trying to pull, or just what exactly some of these politicians are trying to fucking pull. Shady as fuck. For shady.